Perhaps you've heard the phrase and know what it means. The phrase is to swat a fly with a sledgehammer. Swat a fly with a sledgehammer. We kind of call that overkill. I read a similar quote from a Chinese philosopher: to kill a mosquito with a nuclear bomb. Again, kind of overkill. And there's examples of that in our life. Say you're in a fight with someone and they give you a black eye. And so in retaliation, extreme retaliation, overkill, you break both of their legs. A little much, huh? Or someone sideswipes you on the freeway, and in retaliation, you pull up to them and shoot them dead. Road rage. And that's happened. We know that. Road rage. Many ways that we overreact. And so about 1,200 years before Christ, the Jewish people decide their own people were doing just this: swatting a fly with a sledgehammer, killing a mosquito with a nuclear bomb. Well, they didn't have nuclear bombs back then, but whatever. So they decided to have a new law called the law of Talon. Let's look at this new law. It's in Exodus chapter 21, verses 23 to 25. But if injury ensues, you shall give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Now that might seem rather harsh to us, kind of evil for evil. But they thought this was very merciful. Instead of, breaking someone's leg for a black eye, they just said, you give them a black eye. Whatever. So they said, this is justice. Just give back to them, those who hurt you, what they gave to you. Called the law of Talon. Talon is actually the name of the claw on a hawk or an eagle, called a talon. And we get the word retaliate from that, paying back in equal measure. And then Jesus, 1,200 years later, a few thousand years ago, said, that's no longer going to be good anymore. I'm going to ask you not to return eye for eye, not to return tooth for tooth, and so on. In other words, do not return evil for evil. And we heard all those very challenging things in today's gospel. Love your enemies. Someone who hits you in the cheek, offer the other one as well. If someone takes your coat, go hand them your sweater instead as well. To someone who hurts you, praise them. Very, very difficult. And then he gives us what we now call the golden rule. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Now, if we follow that golden rule all our lives, we wouldn't have to worry about the 10 Commandments or all the laws of church. It would be always love, love, love. And that's what Jesus was preaching, as difficult as that may be. Now, some people misinterpret the golden rule as they do unto others as they did unto you. Again, going back to eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Hurt others to the same measure they hurt you. And Jesus said, no. Is there any winners in that? Is there any winners in that at all? So did Jesus practice that? Of course he did. Remember on the cross, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they were doing. The Roman soldiers and the Jewish hierarchy had him arrested, executed, killed. And Jesus forgave them. They didn't ask for forgiveness. They didn't say, oh my God, I'm heartily sorry. He forgave them anyway. So he loved his enemies. And so many other times, Jesus reached out to those that were not supposed to be good. The Samaritans, the Gentiles, the adulterous, those who were kicked out of Jewish society because of whatever. He always reached out to them. So that's a high standard for us. Be merciful just as God is merciful. Do to others as you want them to do to you. Practice the golden rule. So what are some examples for us today? Do you always have to win in everything you do? Whether it's cards or games or whatever it might be. And that's good. I think competitive spirit can be healthy. But if it's to the extreme that no one ever wants to play with you again, we say a sore loser, a sore loser who pouts and is angry and mad. Worse than that is a sore winner who brags about winning, who always has to be first, who always brags about how smart they are, whatever. Stop it. And pick your arguments. Sometimes it's just really not worth it. Someone argues and we can say, well, you're wrong. But if it ruins a relationship just because you proved yourself right, I call that kind of verbal bullying. Yeah, you were right and you were smarter than them and you knew the answers better. So you had to show it to them, but they don't like you anymore. Was it worth it? You maybe won that little battle, but you lost the whole war. Other ways of being merciful, as the Father is merciful, is going out to those that need you. And when we go to work, when we go to school, we can tell when one of our fellow workers or one of our fellow classmates is not having a good day. They're not smiling, they're kind of downcast, and you can just ignore them and say, they have their problems, I have my problems, too bad. Or you can simply go to them and say, is everything okay? Can I help you? Everything all right? Do you want to talk? To actually look for opportunities to be good to others, to be their friend. That can also be the same when new people enter your life, whether it's new neighbors next door, new classmates at the school, a new employee. And you already have your own little school cliques and work cliques, and this person feels really outside. You can go up and invite that person. Come join us for lunch. Let's get together. Let's find out more about you. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Why are you here? What do you like to do? So on. So there are so many ways that we can be merciful as God is merciful. So I challenge you today and the rest of this week to say the golden rule every morning when you wake up. Today I'm going to do to others as I want them to do to me. Today I'm going to treat others as I want them to treat me. How do you want to be treated? I want to be loved. I want to be forgiven. I want to be helped. I want to be encouraged, and so on. That's what I want from people in my life. I have to make sure I give it back to them. Start the day off with reciting the golden rule. Do to others as you want them to do to you, and then put that into action. Every day, look for one opportunity, at least one opportunity, to be merciful, kind, loving, forgiving to someone else. And what did Jesus say will happen? Your reward will be great, and you really will deserve the name, a child of God.